All right. Hi, students. Am I audible? If any of you could just let me know in the chat if I'm audible or not, that would be great. All right. Thanks. Thanks a lot, Vidika. So this session is also going live on YouTube. So I hope uh, all the students who are attending it on YouTube live are also able to hear me clearly. All right. So without wasting a lot of time, because we have to kind of discuss the entire paper, I'll not wait a lot of time for others to join. We'll start the session, and yes, if anyone joins late, they can actually watch the recordings. Okay, so all the best, and let's get going. So is the paper visible, guys? Is the screen showing JIPMAT 2022 actual question paper? Just a moment. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the question paper was very simple. Okay, it wasn't tricky or difficult at all. And as far as we know, the performance last year for the students was very kind of great. One second. Acha, I'm getting a feedback that this has not gone live on. Okay, so just a moment, guys. Just a moment. All right. Yeah. So I've got the confirmation it's working fine. So yeah, as I was saying, last year, there were I know the students who have scored really well in the paper, and there were 4 questions which were wrong in the paper, and after removing those questions, like the paper was 400 marks out. The paper got reduced to 384 marks, and even out of that, I knew students who had scored 360 marks or 350 plus marks, right? So it is that easy. Most of you would have appeared for IPMAT Rohtak also. And I can tell you it was, I think, on the easier side as compared to Rohtak as well. Okay. All the students could complete the paper within 2 hours. The students who had a great calculation speed were able to complete it in almost 1.5 hours only. So some students had 1 hour spare, some had 30 minutes spare. So it was all about accuracy. Now everyone could have everyone was able to kind of see the 100 questions and were able to attempt most of the questions or all the questions that they knew. But even after attempting those questions, you would have experienced the same in the mock tests also. You're able to attempt all questions, but still some questions go wrong because of your mistakes or inaccuracies. So therefore, the entire challenge of JIPMAT is about accuracy, and that is what your focus should be in the actual paper 2023 also. Focus on accuracy. If you get it right, if you are solving a question, just ensure that you cross check it and make sure that it is right, because everyone will be able to attempt all questions. It will always come down to the accuracy. Whoever is most accurate will get a better score. So that is what it will come down to. So therefore, make sure that your focus is on accuracy and not on just pure speed. Speed would be one factor, but more than the speed, because there is excess time, accuracy would be more important. So let's look at this now. LCM of two numbers is 12 times the HCF, and sum of HCF and LCM is 403. If one of the numbers is 93, find the other number. LCM of two numbers is 12 times the HCF. Okay. And sum of HCF and LCM is 93. So let the first number be HX, the second number be HY, and one of the numbers is the LCM of two numbers is 12 times the HCF. So basically HCF is H, then LCM would be HXY, and this is 12 times H. H and H gets cancelled. X into Y, the uncommon part of the two numbers, is 12, and one of the numbers is 93. The other number is, I don't know. Okay. So I clearly realize that X is a factor of 93, and 93 is simply 31 into 3. So if X into Y is 12 and X is also a factor of 31 into 3, X has to be 3, Y would be 4. And if X is 3, H is the remaining part, that is 31. So I have now found out everything. H is 31, X is 3, and Y is 4. And we can also verify the sum of HCF and LCM is 403. Let us quickly check. Is that true? As per my calculation, HCF is 31 and LCM is 12 into 31. That is that would be 12 into 31. That would be 310 plus 62. So 372. And yes, 31 plus 372. It is actually 403. So if one of the numbers is 93, the other number is actually 12 into 31. That is, sorry, the other number is 4 into 31. The Y is 4. So the other number is 4 into 31. The other number is H into Y. H is 31 and Y is 4. So therefore the other number is 124, and hence the answer is option A. Now here you need to understand I've taken a longer time to solve this question, but I'll not get I'll not panic, because I know there is 1.5 hours to solve the entire paper, 2.5 hours rather. So we can cover it up later also. The population of a village is 5,000. If in a year the number of males were to increase by 5% and that of the females were by 3% annually, the population was to grow to 5202. At the end of the year, if M is the number of males and F is the number of females, then M and F is how much? So what I'll do is, what I'll do here is I'll use the options instead of actually solving it. Okay, so if in a year number of males were to this, the population at the end of the year. So 3,000, and let me just check 3,000 and 2,000. And if I increase the males by 5%, it will increase by 150. And this by 3%, it will increase by 60. The overall would have increased by 210. So I wanted the number to become 5202. It had to increase by 202 only. So this is not the answer. Quickly, now I'll be a little faster. So this would be 28, and 5% of it would be 140, and this would increase by 3%. So that would be 66. So 206. Again, not the, I wanted the increase to be 202. Here it would be 130 plus 66. Again, not matching. So I'll just check the last case. This would be 135, 5%. And this would be 23 into 3, that is 23 into 3, that is 69. Then that comes out to be, okay, that again does not match any value. 140, this would be 130 plus 66, 3,000 plus 2,000, that is again 140 plus 110. So none of the options is matching my answer here. So this would give me an increase of 204. I'm not sure about this question. Could be, I'm the closest that I'm getting is this one, but I'm not sure of the answer, so I'll go ahead. All right, looking at the third question. The radius of each of the 4 outer circles is R, and the radius of the innermost circle is how much? Now again, what I would do is I'd rather, this seems to be a slightly lengthy question. I've already had 2 lengthy questions. So I'll bookmark this question for now, and I'll move ahead. You have the option to bookmark in the portal. Okay. So once I've kind of solved a few quick questions, I'll come back to this one, so that my confidence and my flow is maintained. Floor of a room is 15 by 17, 15 meters, 17 centimeter long. So 15 meters and so 15.17. Breadth is 9.02 meters, right? So if this is the case, so what is the least number of square tiles required to pave the floor? And we'll assume here I'll say this is 1517 centimeters, and here this is 902. Now if I have to pave this entire floor with square tiles, I'll take the dimension of the square tile to be a cross a, where a is the HCF of these two. So this is a straightforward question of HCF. 1517, 902. The HCF of 902 is the factors of 902 are 451 into 2 and 451. Okay, let me just see if 451 goes in this number. 450 into 6 is into 4 is 1800. No, 451 would not go here. Further, I can see what is the least number of square tiles required to pave the floor. Again, bookmark. Maybe there are some easier questions waiting ahead. So I'll stop here. A can do 1/4 of a work in 3 days. B can do 1/6 of the same work in 4 days. Then how much will? So A can do 1/4 of the work in 3 days. A does the work in 12 days. B does the same work in 4 days. So B does the work in 24 days. And how much will A get if both work together and are paid 180 in all? So A does the work in 12 days, B does the work in 24 days. If I look at their efficiencies would be in the opposite ratio, 2:1. And if their efficiencies are in the ratio 2:1, if they work together, whatever they get paid will also be paid in the ratio 2:1. So 180 has to be split in the ratio 2:1. A will get 120 rupees and B will get 60 rupees. And therefore, how much will A get paid? A will get paid option 4, that is 120. Okay, so I hope this we get back on track with this question. Let's get going, hopefully. All right, match list 1 with list 2. Okay, mean of the first 5 prime numbers: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. What is the mean? 5 plus 5, 10, 17 and 11 is 28, 5.6. So 1, 3, A3 is there only in option 2. I don't have to check even further. My answer has to be option 2 only. Okay. Let's go to the next one. A 2-digit number is 7 times the sum of its 2 digits. Okay. So 2-digit number AB is 7 times sum of the digits. But any 2-digit number itself is nothing but 10 times A plus B. So 10 times A plus B is equal to this. At the same time, the number that is formed by reversing is 18 less than the original number. What is the number? I'll not solve the equation. I'll check the options. Sum of digits is 6, and the number is not 7 into 6. So therefore, this can't be the answer. Sum of the digits is 6. 7 into 6 is 42, which is the original number itself. So this could be the answer. The number has to be a multiple of 7. So this can't be the answer. 6 plus 3 is 9, and 7 into 6 is 63. So this also could be the answer. I need to check the second condition. If I reverse the number should reduce by 18. So if I reverse it, it becomes 24, and this is 18 less. So yes, this is correct. So the option which satisfies both the conditions is option 2. Okay, moving on. 2 poles of height 6 and 11 are standing vertically upright on a plain ground. If the distance between their foot is 12 meters, then the distance between their tops is how much? So 2 poles of 6 and 11, okay, are standing vertically upright on a plain ground. If the distance between their foot is 12, then the distance between their tops would be how much? So this is a simple question of Pythagoras theorem. If this is 6, this is also 6, so this would be 5, and this is 12. I know triplets, 5, 12, this would be 13. So the distance between the tops is 13, and hence the answer is option 3. So you can see here, I'm not doing a live solving session, we are doing a discussion. So therefore you can see here, I can take breaks in between to discuss things with you. So here you can see, this is a very straightforward question. There's nothing, very, I think something which requires even a diagram. If you were to virtually visualize this, you would be able to visualize this and get to the answer, right? So that's why this has been basically, the students were able to attempt so many questions. Now I'll just go back to a few questions. I'll just check which all questions I'd bookmarked, if I should just try those ones again. So question number 1 I got. Question number 2 I was not able to get. The population is 5,000, and number of males were to increase by this, and number of females were to increase by 3% annually. The population would grow to 5202. I think the numbers here are not fitting in. Maybe there's some issue here. So I'll not kind of get into the solving here. This one I think I've not tried, so I'll try this one, the third one. The radius of each of the 4 outer circles is r, then the radius of the innermost circle would be how much? So here, if this is r, this is also r, this is r, this is the x that we are looking for, and this is again x, and this is r, right? But we know this is the diagonal of a square, and the diagonal of a square is √2 times the side of square. Side of the square is 2r. So therefore, √2 into 2r, √2 into 2r is equal to r plus 2x. And now I think if I solve it, I'll get the x in terms of r. Okay. So 2√2r is equal to 2r plus 2x. I think I can cancel out the 2 from each case. So therefore, the x is equal to √2 minus 1 into r, and that is there in option 3, and hence that would be the answer. Okay. So this was an easy one. Appeared to be a little complex, but yeah, when we solved it, it actually turned out to be a very easy one. This one again, I don't know. The calculations appear to be slightly lengthy, because 9021517, and I'm not able to factorize this. What is the least number of square tiles required to pave the floor? So square tiles of what dimension would I have to use? And there are almost 100. So 1517. I think I'll have to, again, I'll not spend time on this one. Maybe I can come back to that one later also. You all have the option to bookmark in the test. So that's why if there's such a question which is not, which appears to be very lengthy or something, bookmark it and you can come back to it later. Okay. The value of this would be how much? Now the calculation is not required to be done. You just, whenever you get such questions, think of any identity if any would be applicable. Numerator is a cube plus b cube, and the denominator is a square plus b square minus ab. So a square minus ab plus b square. And I know a cube plus b cube is factorized as a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square divided by a square minus ab plus b square. So the denominator gets completely cancelled, and numerator would only be a plus b, that is 325 plus 175, and hence the answer should be 500, that is option 4. Such straightforward questions, guys. So that is what happens. You just need to, if at all there are one or two very tricky questions or wrong questions also, you need to move ahead of it and try to solve these easier questions. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
In previous question, it was minus a and a plus b in denominator.
This is a typo. Maybe it is into only. It was not minus a plus b.
So, sir, all these questions which are wrong will be granted marks for that, or
Last year, whatever questions were wrong were given mark, were removed from evaluation. Okay. So there were 4 questions which were wrong. Here, I think in while making the PPT also, there could be a typo. So don't worry about that. Okay. If sine theta is 5/13, then the value of tan theta is 5/13. If sine theta is 5/13, then tan theta, then cos theta would be 12/13, because I know the triplet 5, 12, 13, and therefore tan theta would be 5/12. So this is a false statement. If cot theta is 12/5, cot theta is opposite, tan theta is opposite upon adjacent, so cot theta is adjacent upon opposite. So adjacent upon opposite is 12/5, therefore the hypotenuse is 13. Then the value of sine theta, opposite upon hypotenuse, is 5/12 is wrong, because it should be 5/13. Hence neither of the statements is true, both the statements are false, and hence answer should be option 2. So if you knew basic trigonometry, you could have handled this question. Okay, moving on. 3 years ago, the ratio of ages of Amisha and Namisha was is to 9.9, sorry, 8:9. 3 years from now, the ratio would become 11:12. What is the present age of Amisha? Now, again, Amisha and Namisha 3 years ago was 8:9. So let me take it as 8x and 9x. Present age would be 8x plus 3 and 9x plus 3. And 3 years from now, it would further be 8x plus another 3, so 8x plus 6 and 9x plus 6. And this ratio is 11:12. So this ratio is 11:12. What I'll do is I'll quickly check from these options here. What is the present age of Amisha? Amisha's present age should be a multiple of 8 plus 3. The only option here which is a multiple of 8 plus 3 is option 3. I'll just substitute, if 8x plus 3 is 19, x is 2. I'll just check if I put x equal to 2 here, does the ratio come out to be 11:12? X equal to 3, that would be x equal to 2, that would be 16 plus 6, 22 is 2. 18 plus 6, that is 24. Yes, the ratio is coming out to be 11:12. So if I take, I just looked at the options and I felt the percentage of Amisha could only be the option 3. There's no other option which could be the answer. Hence the answer is option 3. Okay. If a plus b is 2a minus 3b plus ab, then 3 into 5 plus 5 into 3 is equal to how much? Okay. So a plus b, this is a symbol based question. A plus b, a plus b is equal to 2a minus 3b plus ab. So 3 into 5 plus 5 into 3 . Just 1 second, guys. Just give me a moment. Let me just check the question if this has been typed correctly over here. Okay. I'm just verifying whether the question in the PPT and the one which is given here is the same or not. The PDF. Okay. Okay, I don't know. It's becoming a little difficult to track this one, but this appears to be a little confusing to me. So what I'll do is I'll bookmark this one and come back to it later only. Okay, moving on. If a upon b plus c is equal to b upon a plus c is equal to c upon a plus b, then what will be the value of k? Now this is a very good question, because here the chances of students getting it wrong are very high. Case basically, here the property that we use is a plus b plus c upon if all of these are equal, the property that we use is, if x upon y is equal to a upon b, suppose, then we can also say x plus a upon y plus b, and suppose this is k, so this will also be k. Now using this property, if I add all the three numerators and add all the three denominators, that should also be equal to k. So if I use that, a plus a 2a, b plus b is 2b, c plus c is 2c, so 2 times of a plus b plus c, and that is equal to k. Now it's very simple to cancel this out and say that k is equal to 1 by 2, but there's a catch over here. We can cancel out the numerator and the denominator only if it is non-zero. Okay, the original question did not have a plus b plus c as the denominator. However, a plus b plus c could be equal to 0 also, so that case should be considered separately. Here, while we are cancelling it, we have considered that a plus b plus c is not 0. If a plus b plus c is 0, then in that case a plus b is equal to minus c. So if you look at this case, a plus b is minus c, so c upon minus c, k could be equal to c upon minus c, that is nothing but a minus 1 also. So therefore the answer would be 1 by 2 or minus 1. And this was a very good question. This was not a very simple question in the JIPMAT paper, but this is a very typical question in maths. In using this property, it's a very common question. So some of you would already know this. If you did not know and you would have marked the answer as 1 by 2, you would have got this question wrong. Next. The value of flat worth 5 lakhs is depreciating at a rate of 10% per annum. In how many years will the value be reduced to 364,500? Now I can do this question very orally. Every 1 year it is reducing by 10%. So 4,50,000, then it would become another 45. So I'll ignore the last two zeros. Okay, so I'll just consider the 5,000. So it will become 5,000. It will become 4,500. Then it would further become 4,500 minus 450. So that will be 4,050. Then that would further reduce by. So I'll just write those numbers so that we are all on the same page. It is 5 lakhs. Then it became 4,50,000 at the end of year 1. At the end of year 2, it becomes 4,050 and 00. And at the end of the next year, it will further reduce by 405 and 2 zeros only. So basically 5,000 minus 500, that will be 4,500, and 40 minus 4, that will be 36. So it actually comes down to this number. This is coming at the end of year 3, at the end of year 1, year 2, year 3. And if you are able to calculate such numbers mentally, you'd be able to do this question, this calculation very quickly. Next. Two persons A and B start from the same point to travel from Chandigarh to Ambala. Distance between Chandigarh and Ambala is 60 kilometers. Speed of A is 4 kilometers per hour, slower than B. Okay, so the distance between two cities is 60 kilometers, and the speeds are basically speed of A is 4 kilometers per hour, slower than or less than B. B, when reaches Ambala, starts back via the same route without taking any rest, and meets A, who was still 12 kilometers away from Ambala. Okay, so basically A and B, and they start from Chandigarh, and this person starts from Ambala, and speed of A is 4 kilometers lesser. So A is going towards this side. Okay, and B basically goes here, turns around, and meets A here, which is still 12 kilometers before Ambala. Okay, so if they met 12 kilometers before Ambala, A has only traveled 48, and B has traveled 60 plus 48, that is 108 kilometers, right? And then they have met. So if they've traveled this much kilometer in the same amount of time, speeds would also be in the ratio. Speeds of A and B would be in the ratio, or the same ratio, that is 48 is to 108. 48 is 60 kilometers, yeah. So 48 is Ambala, was still 12 kilometers away, find the speed of air. So 48 is basically 12 and 108. 12 goes 4 times, 12 goes 9 times, and the difference between their speeds is 5. 5 parts is actually equal to 4 kilometers per hour.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we would have traveled 72 now. That only 12 distance will be 12 kilometer will be more now.
Two persons A and B
Because
start
then
on the
he'll
same
be
point.
coming
Distance
back.
reduces when start by B, when reaches Ambala. Two persons. Okay, so I'm so sorry. I read this question incorrect. This is my misinterpretation. Both of them are starting from the same point, A and B, and going from Chandigarh to Ambala. Okay. So now this is a very straightforward question. Basically, A traveled only 48, but B traveled 60 and 12, and they met here. So therefore, B traveled 72, absolutely right, and A traveled 48, and the ratio of their speeds is 48 is to 72. That is nothing but 2 is to 3. The difference in their speeds is 1 part only. So this difference is 1 part, and that is actually equal to 4 kilometers per hour. So if 1 part is 4 kilometers per hour, the speed of A was 2 parts. Therefore, 2 parts would be 8 kilometers per hour, and speed of B was 3 parts, that is 12 kilometers per hour. We wanted the speed of A only, so therefore the answer would be option 2. So here actually reading the question carefully was important. Thanks for pointing out. Okay, next. So you would have seen after those initial questions where we had a few hiccups, most of the questions are very straightforward. An area of a circular playground is this much. What is the cost of fencing around this at a rate of this? So you just need to use the formula. Pi r square, that is 22 by 7. R square is 22176. So you just need to cancel out 22. 22 goes once. 22 goes once. Remainder is 0. It does not go in 1. Remainder is 0. It does not go in 17. Quotient is 0, I'm sorry, and remainder is 17 only. And now in 176, 22 actually goes 8 times. So 1008. Therefore, R square is 1008 into 7. If we just quickly factorize R 1008, I know 1008 is divisible by 9. So it is 9 into what? 9 into 1, and 9 into 1, remainder is 1. In 10, it again goes once, remainder is 1, and in 18, it goes twice, into 7. This is further 9 into 112 is a multiple of 16. 16 into 7. So 9 into 16 into 7 into 7. This is R square. Therefore, the radius would be the square root of this. 3 into 4 into 7. Each number, square root of 9 is 3, square root of 16 is 4, and 7, 7, 7. Therefore, that is nothing but 84. And now we had to find the cost of fencing at the rate of 50 per meter. So for fencing, we need to calculate the circumference. So the circumference is 2 pi r. Therefore, the rate of fencing cost would be 2 pi r into 50. That is nothing but 2 into pi into 2 into 22 by 7 into r is 84 and into 50. 7 goes once, 7 goes 12 times. 2 into 50 is 100. So 2 into 50 is 100. I just need to calculate 22 into 12. 12 into 20 is 240 plus 24, 264 into 100, 26400 should be the answer. 26400. And now the answers are not matching. So I realize I've missed out on the units. My question was, unit was centimeter square, but the rate was per meter. So luckily for me, 26400 was not there in the answer. Okay, so this is 84 centimeters, and hence this is 0.84 meters. So when I put that over here, 0.84, the two digits, the two decimal places would get cancelled, and my answer would simply come out to be 264 only, and hence my answer is option 1. Okay, So you need to be careful of such minor things. These things will play an important role because, as I told you, most students in JIPMAT would be able to attempt 90 plus questions, but ultimately it will come down to the accuracy part. All right, given are two statements based on the following. So a motorboat can travel up to 50 kilometers and upstream and 28 kilometers downstream in 7 hours. It can travel 21 kilometer upstream and return in 5 hours. Okay. So 30 at upstream and 28 downstream in 7 hours, whereas 21 upstream and return in, so 21 upstream and downstream in 5 hours. So speed of the boat in still water is 12 and speed of the stream is this. Okay, so this is a slightly calculative question. 30 kilometer upstream in this and this. So 30 by, let the speed of boat be B and stream be S. So upstream is B minus S plus 28 upon B plus S is equal to 7. And the next one is, 1 second. And the next one is 21 upon B minus S plus 21 upon B plus S is 5. Okay. To be able to solve this question, we will have to, answer this thing. I'm just checking if both the answers are correct or not. If I just put 12 and 4, 12 minus 4 is 8, 30 by 8 is, and 28 by 8, I don't think it will satisfy. So I'll just actually, do the, 12 plus 8 is 16, 16 and 28, 1.75, and this would be 3 point. All right, I'll just do the calculation. So here the solving is easy. Consider B minus S as one variable and B plus S as another variable. So I want to eliminate one of these variables. So what I'll do is I'll make 28 and 21 equal. So for that, I'll multiply the second equation by 4. This would become 84, 84, and 5 into 4. This one would become 20. And I'll multiply the upper one by 3. 90. This would become 84. And this would become 7 into 3. That is nothing but 21. And now if I take the difference, B plus S gets cancelled. 90 by this upon minus 84 by this, the same denominator. So this would be 6 upon B minus S, and that would be equal to 1. Therefore, B minus S is 6. If I substitute that over here, 6, 84 by 6, and this is 15, and this is 15, and this is, I just need to substitute in any one place. So this is 14. 14 goes on the other side. 84 by this is 84 by B plus S is 6. 84 by B plus S, if I substitute this over here, would give me 6. Therefore, 6 goes 1, 6 goes 14 times. B plus S is 14. And I've just got to solve these two equations simultaneously. I'll get B as 10 and S as 4. So the first statement is false and the second statement is true, and hence my answer would be option 4. Now, this was a slightly calculative one, but in the context of the exam where you have 150 questions for 100 minutes and you have LR also, you have verbal also, where you'll cover up a lot of time, I think this is a question which can be solved. Okay. If A and B are independent events such that probability of A is P and probability of B is 2P, and P exactly one of A or B happens is 5 by 9, then the statements, statement P is equal to 1 by 3 and second statement is P is equal to 5 by 12. Which of these is correct? Now again, here you need to use your knowledge of probability. If P of A is P and P of B is this, exactly one happening. So basically P, A or B is either A happens or B happens or both happen. Okay. And this is generally calculated as probability of A plus probability of B minus the probability of A intersection B, right? But here what we had been given was, we were given only the probability of A happens or probability of A happens and B does not happen, whereas probability of B happens and A does not happen. So if we use A or B, that would be wrong over here. So here what we'll have to do is, use is I'll have to multiply the probability of A into the probability that B does not happen, B bar, or the case where A happens or A does not happen, but B happens. This would give me the answer as 5/9 because I just want exactly one of them to take place. And this would happen how? Probability that A takes place is P, and probability that B takes place is 2P. So therefore, the probability that this does not take place would be 1 minus 2P. So 1 minus 2P. Similarly, the probability that this one does not take place, P A bar, would be 1 minus P. Now, if you are clear with this, you would be able to calculate this. It will give you a quadratic equation, it seems, but you'll have to solve that quadratic, or maybe, the P square can get cancelled and you might get a simple equation also. So let's check. 1 minus P into probability of B is 2P, and that is equal to 5/9. And now if we solve this, P minus 2P square plus 2P minus 2P square, and that is equal to 5/9. So the quadratic is intact. We have to solve the quadratic. The P square would remain. So when we solve this, we'll get 4P square. P plus 2P is 3P, but we are taking it on the other side. So minus 3P plus 5/9 is equal to 0. Multiply throughout by 9. So I'll get 36P square minus 27P plus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, so I'll just quickly use the formula B square, or just check if I'm able to factorize. 36 into 5 is 180. Do I know any two factors of 180 which add up to a 27? 18 into 10, 20 and 9, 18 and 10. I'm not able to find any factors. Okay, 27. So I'll just quickly check if I'm able to use the quadratic formula. Minus B, so 27 plus or minus under root of B square, that is 729, minus 4 into 5 is 20, 20 into 36 is 720, so that is 9 upon 2A, that is 72. Okay, I'm getting a simple answer here. 27 plus or minus 3, so that will be 24 by 72 or 30 by 72. This would give me 1/3, or the other case would give me 6 cancels out, and this gives me 5/12. Both the answers are actually right. So therefore, the answer could be, therefore both the statements are right, and hence the answer would be option 1, because P could be 1/3 also, or P could be 5/12 also. Okay, so hence the answer is option 1. Now here, 16th one. So y'all would be wondering how many questions have I attempted. Just let me see if I can show the list here. We are at the 20th slide, so we've already completed 18 questions till here, and I've left a couple of 3 questions or 2 or 3 questions maybe. So those questions are still left. Okay, so let's go ahead. 33, and the time that has gone is 40 minutes almost. Okay, so while explaining, I've gone a little slow, but let's see. We'll be able to cover it up later. A earns 33 1/3 more than B. B earns then B earns what percentage less than A? So A earns 33 1/3% more than B. So if B earns 3 rupees, I've taken 3 purposely, so A would be 4. Then percentage B earns less than A will be 25% less. So therefore the answer is option 2. Straightforward, direct. Okay, next. Which is following trigonometric identities is true? Sine square theta plus sine square 90 minus theta is always 1. So this is correct. Sine square 60 degrees minus cos square 30 degrees and minus 2 tan 45 is minus 1. So sine square 60 degrees minus cos square 30 degrees. Okay, so I'm not sure of this one because this should be plus sine square theta plus cos square theta is 1, but here cos is 30. So that would actually be cos square 30 is the same as sine square 60. So sine square 60 plus sine square 60, and this would not hold true. So option second one is not correct. And the third one is sine square theta plus 1 upon 1 plus tan square theta is 1. 1 upon 1 plus tan square theta, 1 upon 1 plus tan square theta is nothing but sec square theta, and 1 upon sec square theta is nothing but cos square theta. So this is the third one. Actually sine square theta plus cos square theta is 1, so that is also correct. So the first one and the third one are correct. I think the answer should be option 2, that is A and C only. Again, very straightforward application of your trigonometric ratios. Okay, you won't find questions like IPMAT in there where you'll have a lot of higher math solving involved. Basic knowledge of the identities could have helped you solve this question. If the mean of A, B, and C is M, and AB plus BC plus AC is 0, then the mean of A square plus B square plus C square is KM square. Then K is equal to basic knowledge of identities. Okay, you all can also keep solving the questions with me. So here the identity that you have to use is A plus B plus C the whole square is equal to A square plus B square plus C square plus 2AB plus BC plus AC. Now I know the mean of ABC is M. Therefore the total of ABC is 3M, and therefore A plus B plus C the whole square would be 3M the whole square, that is 9M square, and that will be equal to A square plus B square plus C square, and this is 0, right? So therefore the average of A square plus B square plus C square would simply be A square plus B square plus C square divided by 3. So I have to divide by 3 on this side also, so that is 3M square, and they've said that the average is KM square, so therefore the K is nothing but a 3. So again, you just had to do elementary operations using the identities that were using the identities that you've known. So as simple as that. Sine alpha, cos alpha are the roots of the equation this. Then B square is how much? Okay, so sine alpha and cos alpha, sum of the roots I know. Sine alpha plus cos alpha would be equal to minus B upon A, and sine alpha into cos of alpha is equal to C upon A. Having known that, I know sine square theta plus cos square theta is 1. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to write sine square alpha plus cos square alpha as sine alpha plus cos alpha. I want the square, so I'll take the whole square, but this would also add a term which is 2 sine alpha cos alpha. So I want to remove that. So 2 sine alpha cos alpha. Now I know that this is 1, this is minus B by A, but a whole square. So B square upon A square, and this one would be sine alpha cos alpha, but twice of it. So minus 2 C by A, and therefore I just want to write B square in terms of everything else. So B square would be what? B square is simply A would go here, and then I'll take the B square upon A square. I'm so sorry. So I'll first of all take the LCM on the RHS. So that would be A square and AC, and take the A square on the other side. So A square and minus 2AC. A square, sorry, minus nahi, plus. This minus goes on the other side, plus. So see, A square plus 2AC. The answer is option 3, right? But again, here this was an application based question. Those you would require the rules of sum of roots, product of roots, then using the trigonometric. Okay, so again, not a very difficult application. So JIPMAT, the paper is easy, but again you need to apply the concepts, even the easy concepts, properly in the paper. Okay, so even if you come across such questions, okay, if you look at this question in the first go, it's not a very easy question, but if you look at the steps, it can be solved very quickly. Okay, and if you've solved trigonometry, especially in your school, you would be able to handle this very well. The equation of circle which passes through this point and its center is this. So center is x minus 2. the whole square plus y minus 2 the whole square is equal to r square. And how much do I want the radius to be? Its distance from this point should be how much? Its distance from this point would be 2 to 4. The x distance is 2 and the y distance is 3. So 2 square plus 3 square. I want the distance to be root 13, or therefore the r square should be 13, root 13 square, that is nothing but 13. So it is somewhat like this. Again, if you are able to visualize this, you would be able to solve this very quickly. If not, you can draw this diagram. You can say this is the center and this is the point on the circumference. Therefore, the radius is the distance between these 2 points, which is coming out to be root 13. Therefore, the r square would be 13. Hence, this is the standard form of a equation of the circle. So x minus 2 the whole square plus y minus 2 the whole square is equal to 13. Now there might be some typo here. Okay, so I'm not sure. I think option A has a square missing, or maybe here the brackets are not put. I'm not sure what was the case, but anyways, answer would be this, which is not in my paper currently. It's not visible. Okay, you can check the PDF of the question paper if you can get it from anywhere. You'll know. Okay, the answer was there. Okay, how many liters of water should be added? Or maybe this was one of the questions which was for which the options were not correct. I'm not sure. Okay, because in the actual question itself there were 4 questions which were completely wrong, and they were deleted from the paper officially. Yeah, how many liters of water should be added to 30 liters mixture of milk and water containing milk and water in the ratio 7:3, such that the resultant mixture has 40% water in it? How many liters of water should be added to 30 liters of milk containing milk and water in the ratio 7:3, such that now it has 40% water in it? So 7:3, can I say it contains 30% water? Okay, a mixture contains 30% water, and I'm mixing pure water in it. It is 100% water. You would have done allegations, and I want the average to be 40%. Okay, so if you recall averages, I mixed a mixture which is 30%, and I mixed a water which is 100%, and the average that I'm getting is 40%. In what ratio have I mixed them? 100 minus 40 is 60 is to 40 minus 30 is 10, right? You do it this way, crisscross, and 60 is to 10, the ratio is 6:1. So I mixed them in the ratio 6:1, but the 30%, this one is 60 parts, or 6:1 is 30 liters. So if 6 parts is 30 liters, 6 into 5, 1 part would be 1 into 5, that is 5 liters. And if you've practiced allegations or mixtures and allegations, you would have come across such basic questions. These are questions which are practiced in the basic concept classes also. So hence the answer is option 1. And again, you would find this question very much doable. Matching the questions again, such questions, you just need to use the options smartly. So solve whichever appears to be the easiest of the equations. 8 into 10 is 80. And okay, I'm so sorry, 202 is also there. So this one is very lengthy to solve. I'll solve this one. This one appears to be easy. 2 into 3 is 6, but the last coefficient is negative. So two numbers whose multiplication is 6, but the difference is 5, that is 6 and 1. So here the split would be -6 plus 1. Then you'll change the sign, so 6 and -1, and divide by the first coefficient, 3, divide by the first coefficient, so 2 and this. So 6 by 2 is 3, comma -1 by 2 would be matched to D. So D should be matched to 3. D is matched to 3 only in option 2. Hence my answer would be option 2. Right? So this question also could have been solved very easily, very quickly. Okay. Again, focus on accuracy more than the the speed part. Okay. If I were able to show you the slides, okay, I would have showed you. PQR invested this much, 25,000, 50,000 and 25,000 respectively at the start of business. At the end of 2 years, they earned a profit of 48,000. What will be Q's share? 25 is to 50 is to 25, 1 is to 2 is to 1, and they need to split 48,000 in that ratio. Clearly, 4 parts, 48, so each part is 12. So 12, 24, 12. What will be Q's share? Q's share is 24,000, and hence the answer would be option 1. Next, The father's age is 6 times his son's age. 4 years hence, the age of the father will be 4 times his son's age. So currently, father and son. Son's age is X, so father's age would be 6X. And 4 years hence, so 4 years hence, this is 6X plus 4, and this is X plus 4. Now, X plus 4, yes. And right now, the relation between these two people is that X plus 6X plus 4 is 4 times of X plus 4, and you just need to solve this to get the answer. So 6X, 4X, so here you'll be left with 2X. Here you have 4 into 4, 16, and here you have a single 4, so that will become 12. 16 minus 4, that is 12. Therefore, X would come out to be 6. If X is 6, the question was the present age of the son and the father are 6 and 36. The answer is option 1. Okay. Next, in triangle ABC, AB is 6 root 3, AC is 12, and BC is, okay, one of the sides is 6, one of the sides is 6 root 3, and one of the sides is 12. They're asking you, then this angle must be 90. If this angle is 90, then the Pythagoras theorem should satisfy. This would be 36. 6 square is 36. 6 root 3, the square is, square of this would be 36 into 3, that is 108, and 12 square is 144. 36 plus 108 is actually 144. Since it is satisfying Pythagoras theorem, the angle is 90 degrees, and hence I can say that the statement number 1 is true. Triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle with AC is equal to BC. So C is the symmetric one, and AB square is 2 times of AB square. AB square is 2 times of AC square. So AB square is 2 times of AC square. Okay. Let me take some numbers. AB square is 2 times of AC square. So therefore, if I take the square root, AB is root 2 of AC. Okay. So let me take this as root 2, and let me take this as 1. If this is 1, this would also be 1. And they're claiming that angle C is 90. If angle C is 90, then Pythagoras theorem should be satisfied. 1 square plus 1 square is root 2 square 2. Yes, it is satisfying. Therefore, this is also correct. And hence the answer would be both statements are true. Now, this question appears to be a little tricky, but if you are smart enough, if you are calm enough, you would have been able to apply and check whether both the statements are true or not. So yes, this was also doable. Okay. All right. Now, there have been questions like how many questions are needed in order to get a call. Just to give you a perspective, at least 85 questions out of 100 are required to get a call, almost. Okay. Last year, almost students who had got 85 or more questions correct had a call. Okay. You at least need around 85 questions to get a PI, to get the admission into one of the Jammu or Bodh Gaya colleges. The sum of n terms of a sequence is, so here this is a very simple trick. 1 by 1 into 2 plus 1 by 2 into 3 plus 1 by 3 into 4 plus 1 by 4 into 5 and so on till n. So the nth term would be 1 upon n into n plus 1. Now one should know that if you split this now, if you split this is actually 1 by 1 minus 1 by 2. 1 by 2 into 3 is nothing but 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3. So you can go reverse. 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3, you can verify. This would be 3 minus 2 upon 2 into 3. So each term opens up this way. You'll realize minus 1 by 2 and plus 1 by 2 would get cancelled. Similarly, this one would open up as 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4. So if you've studied sequences and series, you would have come across this kind of a sequence in the concept classes and the books also. And this keeps on going this way. This one would open up as 1 by n minus 1 by n plus 1. This 1 by n gets cancelled out with the previous term. So you'll be left with this. So ultimately, you're left with 1 minus 1 upon n plus 1. You take this, multiply this over here, simplify. This would be n plus 1 minus 1. That is n upon n plus 1. And that would be your answer. Hence, your answer is option 4. So these were simple questions. Okay. These were simple questions, but you had to, kind of apply concepts. It wasn't, there were few questions which are straight sitters where you had to apply the formula directly. But such questions were not formula based. You had to, do some application. But these are applications which you have generally studied in the class. So that is why if you just go through your class notes also for a quick revision for any topic, that would be helpful. Okay. Now, next, under root of 5 plus under root of 3. Yes, for those questions which were incorrect in the exam, the questions which themselves were incorrect, for those questions, if you attempted those questions, marks were not deducted. Okay. So under root of 5 plus under root of 3 upon under root of 8 minus 2 root 15. Okay. So square root of a third, if you recall, square root of a third. Now again, this is a lengthy question, but it is something which is not very difficult. If you studied thirds and if you studied the concept of square root of a third, you would know any square root of the format a plus b minus 2 under root of ab can simply be written as under root of a plus under root of b, or plus से होगा तो plus minus, if there's a minus sign, so minus. Okay, so plus or minus, right? So you need to find out two numbers which add up to 8 but multiply to give you a 15. That is simply a 5 and 3. So this would be under root of 5 plus under root of, sorry, minus under root of 3, and that would be the answer. Okay, so under root of 5 minus under root of 3, and numerator is under root of 5 plus under root of 3. Denominator here is, so it's not over yet. And here you have plus under root of 11 plus 2 under root of 30, and denominator being under root of 6 minus under root of 5. So when you quickly solve, multiply by the conjugate, denominator becomes, this denominator becomes root 5 square minus root 3 square. This denominator becomes 2. And this would be root 5 plus root 3 the whole square. So that will be a square plus b square plus 2ab. A square is 5, b square is 3. So 8 plus 2ab. 2 into root 5 into root 3. So 2 into root 15. Plus this one would be what? If I multiply the denominator, if I multiply the conjugate of the denominator, root 6 square minus root 5 square, that will be simply a 1. And the numerator would be what? Numerator would be, the numerator is multiplying the root 6 plus root 5 to the numerator. So that will be root 11 plus 2 root 30 into root 6 plus root 5. Okay, first of all, I see over here, this would get cancelled out. This would become a 4. This would become a root 15 alone. Now I'm just trying to be a little smart. I'm just seeing where all can I get an integer. Okay, where all can I get an integer? I see that there's an integer here. Okay, root 11 into anything will never be an integer. 30 into 6, 180 is not an integer. 30 into 5, 150 is not an integer. So I realize here that my answers can only have this part as the integer. I'm just wondering, there's no option which has 4 as the integer part. So something, let me just quickly calculate. Root 11 plus 2 root 30. So 11 into 6 under root of 66. Under root of 55. 2 times under root of 180. 180 contains a 9 and a 4, 36. So that will become 12 and 12 root 5. And similarly, this will become 2 into 5, 10 root 6. But nothing is cancelling out. So maybe some numbers, I'm not able to see this part through. I think the root 11, there's no root, there's no term, there's no option which contains a root 11 or any multiple of 11, but root 11 is definitely there in the option. So maybe something wrong over here with the question. I'll go ahead. Now this is something that you need to be careful about. If there is a question which is wrong in the paper, okay, last year there were 4 questions. I'm not saying this year there will be questions, but bookmark it and go ahead. Okay, don't stay stuck on a question for a long time. A number.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
What if there is a root on another root on root 11 and plus in that question? There's another root on root 11 and
Uh, yeah, maybe that is a typo that I think could be there. Yeah, you're right, because in the if there was a root in the question, then this question would have become 6 plus 5. No. Acha, okay, sorry. Yeah, I got the mistake. The mistake here in this question, not my mistake, the question mistake. Maybe I don't think this has been typed by IMS, so I think they've picked it up. The question would have been something like this. So 6 plus 5 is 11 and 6 into 5 is 30. So this second part would have become root 6 plus root 5 upon root 6 minus root 5. Yeah, then that would have made sense. 4 plus root 15, and this one would have become denominator 1 and numerator would have been 6 plus root 5 the whole square. So that would have been root 6 plus root 5, that is 11, plus under root of 6 into 5. So that 2 AB. So that will be 2 under root of 30. So 4 plus root 15 plus 11 plus 2 root 30. So 4 plus 11, 15 plus root 15 plus 2 root 30. Then the answer would have been option 4. Maybe there could be a typo while typing this question itself. Okay, or it could be. I'm not sure though. Okay, right. Who was that? Whoever helped me out here. Thanks. Okay. A sum becomes double in 10 years, then the annual rate of simple interest is. If it is becoming double in 10 years, 100 is becoming 200 in 10 years, then it is increasing at 100% per in 10 years. So therefore the annual rate of interest is 10% per annum. Because it is simple, I can do it directly. Okay, so my interest is 100 in 10 years. Therefore the interest in 1 year would be 10 on 100. So therefore the rate of interest is 10% per annum. Okay, again, so this was a sitter question. Okay, you'll find at least 7 to 8 or at least around 10 questions which will be sitters, plain sitters. The sum of exponents of prime factors of a prime number of the prime factors in the prime factorization of 392 is 5. Now this is plain factorization, so let's quickly check. 392 is what? It is divisible by 8. I know 8 into 50 is 400, so this would be 8 into 49, and 49 is 7 square, so that will be 2 cube into 7 square. The sum of exponents is actually indeed 5, so this is true. The decimal representation of 13 upon 2 cube into 5 will terminate after 2 decimal places. Let us check. 13 upon 8 into 5 is 40. So 30, 12. Basically, I'll just divide by 4 and put a 0 at the end. So 13 by 4 is 13 by 4 is 13 by 4 is 13 by 4 is 3.25. So therefore this would be, I'm so sorry, this would be 0.325. It ends after 3 decimal places. Therefore this one is false. Statement 1 is true and statement 2 is false, and hence the answer would be option 3. Okay, let me just share my entire screen and let us see how many questions have we attempted. Okay, so that will give me an idea how many questions have we attempted till now. So I'm here. Let me just change the view. So if I look at it in this view, I think from the beginning we had left one question there. Okay, we've already reached slide number 34, and that means almost last few questions of maths left. Let me see what question this is. Okay, I think 34 means the last question. That was the last question of maths, and we've almost taken, with the discussion that we've been doing, I've taken almost an hour to complete that. But you'll see that even if you take an hour in the actual paper, that would be justified, because the other sections would go through very fast. Okay, and I've left around 3 questions, 2 to 3 questions, because of either errors or maybe I found the questions to be slightly tricky. That's fine. Okay, again, moving on. Salary, components, power, interest, taxes. Now what does this mean? You've been given item of expenditure, and there are different heads under which the company had expenditures. Okay, which year saw the maximum increase in salary over the previous year? Around 11 over 288. Okay, around 3-4%. This is a drop. I want the maximum percentage increase. 7 over 298 would be very less. And here the increase is again, the increase is 11. The increase is 11, but the base year is bigger. The base year is smaller. If the base is small, the percentage is higher. Therefore, the maximum increase has happened in the year 2001, because it has increased by 11 over 288, and therefore the answer would be option 1. Again, you'd realize that there's not a lot of calculation involved. Conceptual clarity was the key over here. The total expenditure in 2000 was what percentage of the total expenditure in 2003? So quickly, you'll have to do some calculations quickly. 288 plus 296, so that is 12 less. That is 4 less, so 16 less. And so here, if you quickly look at it, 16 less than 600, so that will be 284. Sorry, 584. 584 plus 26 is 590. 610. 610. 630. 22. 654.654.6. I don't think the decimals would matter a lot. So 654. Here also I'll ignore the decimals. 316 plus 428. 16, 28, 30, 44. 744. 744. 746 and 776. 776 and 14 would be 790. 790 and 42 would be 832. 832 and 654. Okay, so for 832, I know 624 would be 75%. For 832, 624 would be 75%, 3/4. And this number is almost 30 more than that. For the base value of 832, 30 would be around 4% and even less than that. So therefore, the answer should be around 70s, in the 70s, but on the answer should be in the 70s, and it should be less than 80%. But again, I'm so sorry, I've taken the expenditure to the wrong base. I had to calculate in terms of 2003. My mistake. So be careful while taking values. So again, you'll see that you'll be able to calculate it very easily. 305 plus 410, 715. 715 plus 15, 730. 730 plus 28, 758. 758 plus 42, 801. So 801. 654 and 801. For 801, 75% is 600 plus 54. 54 for 80 is around 7% or something. So 75 plus around 7, it would be around 81, 82%. Therefore, the answer is option 2. Moving on. Yeah, we did this. Then this one. What is the approximate ratio between total tax paid and total and the cost of components over all these years? So the taxes paid is this much. You just need to add this and cost of components over the years. So this one. And you need to calculate the ratio. Now the ratio would be slightly tricky, and they've asked you to calculate it approximately. So let's see that the tricky part here would be taking the ratio, because such numbers, these numbers are very small and with decimals, and these numbers are big numbers, 3-digit numbers. So let's see. 428 plus 382. So 410, 810, 810 plus 410, 1220, 1220 plus 96 is 1316, 1516, 1516 plus 32, 1548, 1848. So this one number is 1848, and this number comes out to be how much? 32, 34, 66, 66 and 84. So that will be 150. 150 and 38 is 150 and 38 is 188. 188 plus 1, 189, 189, 190 point something. Now you are looking for an approximate ratio only. So what I'll do is, see, this is almost 10 times 190, 1900. So if I add any number here, this number should be this number should be increased by almost 10 times. So what I'll do is I'll make this 200, and I'll make this number, if I'm adding a 10 here, I'll add a 100 here. So this would almost become 181950 almost. Okay, and the ratio then would be, almost 1950 is to 200. That will be 195 by 20. That would simply be 119.5 by 2, or would be around, the ratio would be around 9.75 or something. Okay, so if I just look at these options, the answer should be little less than 10, 1:10, little less than that. So here this is 110, 10 point something. Here this is 20, more than 20. 3 goes 20 times. 14 into 10 is 148. This is slightly less than this. Hence, I think the answer has to be option 3. Okay, so rough approximation this way can help you get the answer. The smaller number to the bigger number, or the bigger number to the smaller number, the ratio is 9.75. The bigger number is little less than 10 times of the smaller number. So the bigger number is little less than 10 times of the smaller number. That is how I thought about this question. Okay, so even without using the calculator, you could have got the answer. Now there were a lot of questions on DI, so and these were doable if you just fill the information properly. Okay, now you'll see that you'll be able to solve all the questions of this set within 2 to 3 minutes. There was this table, boys, girls, totals and grades ABC, and again a total of girls, totals of boys, and all this. So half the students have grade A or B. Okay, and 50% of the students are girls. Okay, so if I take the total number to be 100%, 50%, and half the students have grade, okay, I have 3 information. Half the students have grade A or B, and 50% of the students are girls, and 1/4 of the boys have grade C. Okay, and based on this, I have to find out half the students have grade A or B, the number of girls of grade A and total of girls and boys having grade A are. Now here what I'll do is, you can see my screen. I'll just go to the actual response sheet. I'm not sure if whatever the data given here is absolutely right or not. So I'm just verifying that. Okay, nothing more. You can see. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
In this particular question, could we go by options?
Yes, we could, but I'm just verifying. Okay. A teacher has partial data of the student result. Okay, some students are given, girls are 40, boy, and grade B is okay. All right. So it is exactly the same. It's just that here the information 40 is missing. See, this is the actual question paper. Okay, in the question paper there was a 40 number here for girls. So that information was missing in this slide. So with that in mind, we can see now whether we can solve the questions or not. Okay, 50% of the students are girls. So this gives us that the boys are also 40 and the total students are 80. 1/4 of the boys have grade C. So if there are 40 boys, the boys who have grade C is 10 and total 40. So 5 and 10, 15. So the remaining number is 25. This number is 30. So this number is 5. Half the students either have grade A or grade B. So total students are 80, out of which 40 should have either A or B. 25 plus 5, 30, 30 plus 5, 35. The total number of students who should have A or B is 40. So here again I should have another 5. And this completes the remaining thing. 5 plus 5 is 10, and hence the girls who have C grade would be 30, and this number would be 40. Okay, and with this, all the entire table is done. And now you would be able to answer the entire set. Half the students have either grade or A or B. This was not required here, already given. the number of girls of grade A and total girls and boys having grade A is, number of girls having grade A is 5 and total of girls and boys having grade A is 10. So 5 comma 10, the answer was option this. 5 5 30, 5 25 10, 10 30 40. Okay, so we'll just remember this, okay, because that will be required as we go ahead. 5 10 5 25 10 30 40. This was the breakup. Okay, we had got on the previous slide. Now the question is number of girls, boys, and total number of students is 40 40 80. The answer was option 2. Very simple solving, and you could have easily scored 2 or 3 questions here. Okay, number of boys who have grade B and number of boys who have grade C are, so number of boys who have grade B are how many? This number was on the previous slide. Boys who have grade B is this 5. So I'll just fill this up here. 25 30 10 40 40 80 40 10. Now the question here is number of boys who have grade B and the number of boys who have grade C are, boys grade B and grade C 25 and 10. The answer is option 1. Next, again 5 5 25 10 30 30 10. These are the numbers. The number of girls who have grade B and the number of girls who have grade C are, now these are so easy questions, 5 and 30, done. So I don't need to answer these questions anymore. Okay, chalo. Now coming to syllogisms. Now what we are doing here is, I'm not doing a live solving per se. I wanted to discuss the question paper. So while we are solving the questions, I also wanted to understand that if we can skip these questions, just discuss the gist of it, that would also be fine. So if you look at this question now, syllogisms, you know how to do it. I'll still solve this for you all to show you how I can solve it with the minimum number of diagrams. All sparrows are birds, so all sparrows are inside the big set of birds. Okay, I draw only one diagram, and with that I'm able to answer the questions. All birds are mountains, so birds are inside a big set called mountains, and all mountains are skies. Okay, here the diagram was very easy, so that's fine. Now conclusions. All sparrows are skies. Yes, obviously all sparrows are skies. All skies are birds. No, this is false. All birds are skies, but all skies are birds is not true. So this is true, this is false. All mountains are sparrows is also false. All birds are skies is true. Only 1 and 4 follow. The answer is option 3. Okay. So a single question on syllogisms. Moving on to the next one, which is a set based on, or an LR based question. A and C are good in history and biology. No other information is available. Okay, so they appear to be very vague. A and C are good in history and bio. Okay, I'll just make a table: A, B, C, D, E. A and C are good in history and bio. C is also good in history and bio. A is also good in math. B and D are good in physics. A is also good in chemistry. C and D are good in chemistry. Who is good in 4 of the 5 subjects? Now based on this information, I can only see A is good in 4 subjects. Now this appears to be a ridiculous question. What are they testing here? I'm not sure, because it hardly even takes any time, and you could have read the information. A is good in 1 2, then A is again good in 3rd subject, A is good in 4th subject. A was the only one. C is good in 1 2, and C is also good in the 3rd subject. So ridiculous question. I don't know what's tested here, but fine. Okay. A, G, D, L, I find a missing term here, but I can see all the terms have the same letters. They're just getting rotated. So A has gone last. A, G, D, L, X. A, G, D, L, X. A, G, D, L, X. Oh, come on. So this is basically L, X, A, G, D. That should be the answer. The answer is option 1. Okay, very simple. right? So how long will you take over here? So LCQJ, I can clearly see LMC plus 2 is E, Q RST plus 3, J KLMN plus 4. So plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So plus 1 is B, plus 2 is D, plus 3 E F G, and F plus 4, 6 plus 4 is 10, which is J. So B D G J. The answer is option 4. So these were very simple questions. You could have easily done these questions. Okay. Sheila is the wife of Arun. Deepak is the brother of Sheila. So again, this question would be a type A question. You should be able to do this very quickly, half a minute, and you should be able to solve this question. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll now go ahead through the LR questions, and if if there is a question which requires a discussion, we'll solve it. This appears to be an interesting one. So let's do this question. There are in a box there are several balls. The pie chart shows percentage wise distribution of 5 different colored balls. Okay. And the total number of balls is 1000, and the ratio of the light and the dark shades of the 6 colors is also given. Okay, so for each color there's a ratio of light and dark. So what is the total percentage of orange, yellow, and pink balls in the box? What is the total percentage of orange, yellow, and pink? Pink is 12, orange and yellow, so the total is 12 plus 14, 26, 26 plus 21, 47, and therefore the answer is option 2. Didn't require any solving at all. Fine, let's go ahead. Maybe we got lucky here. What is the ratio of dark pink balls to dark green balls? Okay, now this is something which will require some calculation. So dark pink is 12, and the ratio of pink is 1:8. So this is 1/8 of 12%. 1/8 of I want which dark one, right? So dark pink is 7/8 of 12%, and dark green is 18%, and dark of it is 4/7. Sorry. Dark of it is 3 by what am I doing? Dark green is here, so dark is 3 out of 4. So 3 out of 4 of the 18%, and you just have to take the ratio now. Percentage gets cancelled. 4 goes once, 4 goes twice, 2 goes once, 2 goes 6 times, and finally what is remaining is 7 into 6 is to 3 into 18. 6 goes once, 6 goes thrice, 7 is to 9. The answer is option 3. Without even calculating the total number of balls, I could have done this. Okay. Chalo, moving on. Based on the above data, what is the difference between the number of light red balls and the number of dark yellow balls? Now here I'll have to use the number 1000. Okay. So red balls are 21 and red are 21, and the ratio is 3:4. 21 can easily be split in the ratio 3:4. So that is 3 is 9% and 12%. So this is 9% and 12. And I want the light red balls. So 9% of the 1000. So these are 90 balls. Okay. And dark yellow balls. So yellow, the breakup is 9:5. So this is 5/14 of yellow is 21. So 5/14 of 21% of 1000 balls. So 2 zeros get cancelled. 7 goes thrice, 7 goes twice, 2 goes once, 2 goes 5 times. And now you just need to multiply 5 into 3, 15 into 5, 75. So the light yellow balls are 75. Therefore, the difference is 15, and hence the answer is option 1. Okay. So very easy questions, just required your simple application of the basic concepts. Okay. How many dark red balls are there? I think we just calculated that. We calculated light red balls are 90. So the dark red balls would be 120. Hence the answer is option 2. Next. We have one more question based on this. What is the total number of green balls? Green balls are 18%, 180. So you can see these were such sitters, and that's why 2.5 hours. That's why we say that when students came out and said they didn't even require 2 hours, that is because of such questions. There were a lot of such questions, plenty of such questions which were direct, just observation based. 4 friends, Jaspreet, Rohit, Rihanna, and Blessy, like different sports. All of them are active members of their clubs. One person can become a member of one club only. There are 3 clubs, dance, theater, and eco club. Jaspreet, who likes swimming, is not a member of the. So they like each sport. Or each of them likes a different sport also, and all of them are also active member of their clubs. So what clubs? Okay, there are 4 people and only 3 clubs. Jaspreet, who likes swimming, is not a member of the dark. So I'll just make that Jaspreet, Rohit, Rihanna, and Blessy. Probably there's a sport, there's a club, and there's nothing else. So I'll just okay. There are 3 clubs: dance, theater, and eco. Jaspreet, who likes swimming, so Jaspreet likes sport as swimming, but club, he does not like dance club, so no dance. Rihanna is a member of dance club, but does not like tennis. Okay. Rohit likes badminton, but not a member of theater or dance. So apart from theater or dance, there can only be, so neither theater nor dance. Okay. All right. Blessy is a member of eco club. So dance club is gone, eco club is gone. Okay. And does not like swimming or badminton. So she has to like tennis. And is there any other sport left? Is there any other sport left? No. So one person can become a member of one club only. Rihanna is a member of dance club. Blessy is a member of economics club. Now, I've been told that as per the question, so there's no clarity, that there are 3 clubs and there are 4 people. But from here, I'm interpreting that one person can become a member of one club only. So for that matter, Rohit does not like theater or dance. So Rohit has to like eco club. There's a dance club, there's the eco club. So I think Jaspreet would be a member of the theater club. Okay. Further, the sports, there's one swimming, badminton, and tennis. I've not seen any other sport mentioned. So whatever is the 4th sport would be the sport that Rihanna plays. Okay, badminton, dance. Okay, so who likes badminton and is a member of the eco club? So that would be Rohit. The answer is option 2. Next. Okay. I wasted so much time. I thought there would be 3-4 questions here, but this was a single question, so that's why it was so straightforward. Okay, so my bad. Next, moving on. C. C is the 3rd letter. I is the 9th letter. I'll just check which letter is the U. U is T, 21st letter. So I can see +6. If I go +6, I'll reach 15. And if I further go +6, I reach 21. So it's a +6 which is happening. E is the 5th letter. K is actually the 11th letter. Again, a +6. So each letter is increasing by 6. So here I'll have the 15th letter. 15th letter is O. So O is the 15th letter. K is the 11th letter. +6 is 17th. Q. So OQ, there's only one such option. Answer would be option 4. Straightforward. Okay. Again, one more question on DI. Right. So if you look at it over here, if I just go back to the entire paper, you'll see even the logical reasoning had a lot of DI and analytical reasoning. The tricky verbal reasoning was not asked in the exam. Okay, so that's why that helps you a lot. If it continues the pattern, you should score very high in the LR section. Now, in the math section, if you look at it, I had a lot of, there were some questions which were quite application based, but they were doable. It's just that, they were not direct, simply substituting the formulae. But here in LR, I can see that the level of difficulty is much lower. Okay. So 40 participants and something is given over here. How many students may participate in flower making? Now, do I even need to solve this 10? Going ahead, next. How many students did not participate in toy making? 30% participated, so 70% did not participate. Actually, this question was challenged and was corrected. How many students participated in toy making? They gave the correct answer as 12. The answer should have been 28 actually. Okay. This question was a challenge question. I remember this very well. Okay. Next. But look at this level of difficulty. How many students participated in mask making and paper quilling? Paper quilling 20, mask making 15, 35% of 40, that is 14, and hence the answer is option 1. Okay, this appears to be a little tricky, but no, hang on. 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube, 6 cube. So this would be 7 cube, that is 3, 4, 3. Hence the answer is option 1. Which of the following diagrams indicates the relation between deer, lion, and animals? Deer is an animal, lion is an animal, both are under the one set. So hence the answer would be option 1. Botany is the study of plants. Entomology. Now, I am myself not very good at verbal. So if you know the meaning of entomology, you would know the answer to this. I am not sure about this answer. Entomology. I would skip this question, but yeah, this is a very straightforward question for students who are actually studying this. Okay, I am not very clear with this, so I'll go ahead. I'll skip this. Okay, animals is zoology. Not sure. Sure. Plus means division, division means minus, minus means into means plus. So you just need to replace the signs and solve it. This is a clear question of bod mass. So, you can apply the question and you would be able to do this. Hardly take 30 seconds. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead with this question because we realized that this would be a doable question. Okay, we'll try to save as much time as possible now. Okay, I don't mean to just keep solving for my happiness. A man walks 3 kilometers towards east, then turns south. So 3 kilometers towards east, then turns south 4 kilometers, again turns west and walks 6 kilometers, 3, 4, 6. Now here, that this part is 3 because this part is 3. So how much is this distance? This is 4, this is 3, so this would be 5. Hence the answer is 3. Very straightforward questions. Why? We don't even need to discuss these. So let's quickly jump. If there's any trick involved here, we'll discuss that. 1, then 9 plus 8. Okay, here from here to here, it's a plus 24. Plus here to here, it's a plus 72. So whatever you're adding is getting multiplied by 3, is it? No, it's not. Okay. 1 to 9 plus 8. 8 to 9 to 33 is 9 to 33 is plus 24, right? 33 to 105 is plus 72. But 105 to 158 is, it is not following the logic here. So
in this question, we have to find the wrong term.
yeah, so reading the instruction also becomes important. Thanks for pointing out. Find the wrong terms. I think the previous terms are following the logic. I had to ideally add a 216 and then get to the number here. So therefore, this one would be the wrong one, and hence the answer would be 1. 623 is 49, 516 is 62, 438 is 39. Then what is 583? So this one appears to be a little different. Let's try to do this. 623 is 49. Okay. 516 is 62. Okay. Okay. Here I can see 623, 6 square is 36, 2 square is 4, and 3 square is 9. 36 plus 4 is 40 plus 9, 49. Does this logic hold true here? 25 plus 36 plus 1, 62. Yes, it's holding true. 16 plus 64, 80, 80 plus 9, 89. I think this question was challenged. It was given 39, but it was challenged, and the correct this actually was supposed to be 89. Then what is 583? 25 plus 80, 64, that is 89. 89 plus 9, the answer was 98. Okay, data given was wrong, but the answer options were still correct. Okay, so the answer is 98. A, C, F, J, first, third, sixth, and 10th. So the next one would be 15. 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, that is O, and then plus 6, which would give me 21, that is U. So hence, the letters would be O and U. Orally, 6, 8, 4, 6, 3, 5, 6 and 8, the difference is 2. 4 and 6, the difference is 2. 5 and 3, the difference is 2. Actually, here the logic, I think, is -2, -1, and minus maybe 1.5. -2, -1, -0.5, you get a 9/2. And then this would be basically minus 0.5, sorry. So 3 minus 0.5, 2.5, that is nothing but 5/2. And therefore the answer for this one was option 3. Very straightforward series based questions. Okay. Now here such questions could get a little tricky, but 66 and 198, I can see the logic is into 3. This 198 into 3. So either this could be 22 or this could be 594 into 3, one of these. So I think as per options, I can see 22 is there. Therefore, the answer is option 2 into 3 into 3 into 3. Now here, this is a very straightforward question of blood relations. Okay, so I think you would all be able to solve this. So I'll go ahead. What figure of speech are used in the given sentence? So I think now we've come to the verbal. My beloved is like a red, red rose. Simile, because similarity, and red, red rose. I think that is alliteration, right? Where the same letter is repeated multiple times or something like that. I don't know. Metaphor, metaphor. So I'm not a verbal mentor, but okay, I'm not sure about this one, so I'll go ahead. But yeah, alliteration and simile, because I'm kind of relating two things. But here again, my beloved is like a red, red rose. Kind of a metaphor. Not sure though. I'll go ahead. And there were two options, metaphor and hyperbole. Maybe that could be the answer. He broke apart in the middle of his, he broke down in the, he broke down in the middle of his speech. Okay. So answer would be option 3. Breaking down while, doing something. White rhinoceros is close. The white rhinoceros, a white rhinoceros, no. So therefore the answer would be option 1. See, I'm not a verbal mentor, but you can see the questions were very easy also. Okay, for me also to get many of them right. We compelled the enemy to surrender. The enemy was compelled to surrender by us. The enemy was compelled to surrender by us. So what is different in the first and the third and the fourth? The enemy was compelled to surrender. The enemy was compelled, sorry. Yeah. So there's this such a slight difference here. I was like, what is the difference between the two sentences? Compelled to surrender by us. Therefore, the answer would be option 4. straightforward active passive voice. Which of the following sentences is correct? He was selected the very best player of the tournament. He was selected the more best. He was selected. Best is the superlative degree, so you don't need anything further to describe it. So he was selected the best player of the tournament. Okay, answer would be option 4. P for 5 years, I was sure. Q, sorry, P says, acha, okay, the PQRS para jumble. Do I need to discuss this? For 5 years, one could never tell. When I decided to go abroad for 5 years, I was sure that my grandmother would be upset, and at her age, no one could ever. And at her age, one could never tell. I don't know. The grammar seems a little off, but when I decided to go abroad, Q, for 5 years, abroad for 5 years, P, I was sure that my grandmother would be upset, and at her age, one could never tell. So QPRS should be the sequence. Answer would be option 4. Again, my verbal answers could be wrong sometimes, okay, because I'm not an expert at verbal, but I can still think from an average student point of view. Okay, neither of the players adequately, neither of the players, neither of the players, neither of the players, neither of the players. Now, here the trick was it would have a singular pronoun, and therefore is would be the answer. Neither of the players is. Neither of us is going to go to that place, or neither of us is coming to India, or neither of us is well prepared. So neither applies to a singular person. Okay, so therefore answer would be 2. That is. Okay. No sooner did the chairman do something than the directors put up their demand, and this whatever you say has to be a perfect, the basically the past perfect tense. So no sooner did the chairman, okay, no, wait a second. No sooner did the chairman arrive than the directors put up their demand. So arrive would be the no sooner, yeah, no sooner did the chairman arrive than the directors, no sooner had the chairman arrived, or did the chairman arrive than the directors put up their demand. The verb here would be arrive. Again, very straightforward. Okay, if you look at it, you'll be able to spot that. When people are as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they have the key to their prison. When people are uh, when people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they have the key to their prison. When people are unslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they have the key to their prison. When people are prisoners, quite tricky for me, but I still feel the answer should be enslaved, because it should come it should kind of be a verb over here. When people are enslaved, it is as if they have the key to their prison. but again, I'm not able to, see the meaning of it. So yes, option 3, I'll go ahead. Now you are still in touch with these grammar and everything, so I'm sure you would be able to answer such questions much better. He said to me, what are you doing? He asked me what I was doing. He asked me what I was doing, and hence the answer would be option 3. Which of the following sentences is correct? The coach ordered the player to not leave uh, which of the following is correct? The coach ordered the player for not leave the camp, not to leave. The coach ordered the player not to leave the camp. The coach ordered the player not. The coach ordered the player. So option 4 is very wrong. Option 2 is very wrong. What remains is the coach ordered the player to not leave the camp. The coach ordered the player not to leave the camp. Here, ordered the player to do what? To not leave the camp, and therefore I think the answer should be option 1. The coach ordered the player not. The coach ordered the player to do what? To not leave the camp. So therefore the correct order should be to not leave the camp. Not to leave the camp would not be. I prefer reading a book over watching a prefer doing then would definitely be wrong. Against would also be wrong. I prefer doing something over something or to something. Again, in daily language, this seems to be so easy. I prefer reading a book over watching a movie, but is it technically also correct? Now I don't know, but I'm not a verbal expert, so what I'll do is I'll just go ahead with these questions. I'll not spare, take your time here. I'm just trying to show the questions here, and you can see that these questions are very easy, straightforward, at least for someone who is in touch with all these things. It wasn't necessary for her to take time off work when her son was ill. Off work has to be OFF. Therefore, the error in the part is in the part B. Next, some boys were helping the wounded man, and I just need to change the voice. The wounded man was being helped by some boys. Was being helped by some boys. Answer is option 2. The word which means the same as sift. I don't know the meaning of the word sift. Okay, so if you would know it, you would answer it. Otherwise, you would leave it. From the choices, select the word of pair of words that can best complete the given sentence. The doctor dash special course of antibiotics to the patient to cure the disease, or to combat the disease. To prove the disease would not be right. To relieve the disease, okay. To fake out the disease. So I think the doctor administered special course of antibiotics on the patient to combat the disease. I think the answer should be option 4. We are truly dashed to the many hands and hearts that made this book. Okay. I'm not sure about the option 2, 3, 4, but the correct option is definitely, seems to be the option 1. We are truly obliged to the many hands and hearts that made this book plausible. Okay. Next, pick out the word spelled correctly spelled word. Occasionally. So occasionally, occasional. So here comes the test. We use these words very regularly. Gratitude, gratuitous. I don't know what this is trying to say. Occasional is not correct. Now here comes the confusion. Is it OCCASS, or is it OCC, a single S or a double S? Okay, so I think it should be. Now this tests are concepts. So so such common words, and we tend to use them okay, so often, not occasionally. And the autocorrect in our phones and in our life makes it so easy for us to kind of ignore these small spelling mistakes, but I hope you all are all in touch. I'm not sure about this answer. I think it should be occasionally, should be option 4. It has double C as well as double S. So occasion. Brevity is the soul. Is the soul of wit, for wit. Again, I'm not sure, but yeah, the whole point is I'm just running through these verbal questions to show you the kind of level they had. You just had to fill in the correct preposition. So that here, then which of the following sentences is correct? I'm sure, as far as the level of difficulty is concerned, these are very simple questions as compared to what you would find in a difficult test, and that is what is the highlight here. Okay, next. My grandfather is very old, but he is very active. So again, I'm not reading through the question. So these, there are very simple. Though my grandfather is very old, but is not required here. My grandfather is not inactive for his old age. Okay. My grandfather is without activities, but his due to his old age. So this is also not correct. Although my grandfather is very old, he is very active. My grandfather is not inactive for his age rather than old age. So I think the correct one is option 4. The admission ticket entitled her to win a prize. So option B is the contains an error. The person person belonging to the same period with another person. A person belonging to the same period with another person is called as contemporary. Option 3. All we have to fear is this is an interesting question. Is an interesting phrase. While I think I have seen this before. All we have to fear is fear. All we have to fear is fear itself is a saying, I think, although I'm not sure. But again, for someone who's preparing for verbal, this is straightforward. Responsible, we were told that we would be held responsible for anything that went wrong. So SQPR answer would be option 3. Okay, the whole point being, while we are at 2 hours, after starting the session in which there were slight hiccups and we have been discussing, we've come almost to the towards the end of the question paper. Okay, there's this one word ebullient, and the meaning word, which you would be able to answer within 10 seconds if you know it. If you don't know it, you won't be able to answer it. Okay, and there's this one paragraph based passage, only this much. Okay, and the question was, what is the theme of the above passage? Animals are superior to men because of their something would be there in the passage. 2 questions. You'd read the passage, you'd at max take 1 minute or 1.5 minute to read it. Go to the question, theme of the passage. You'd probably think for it on 30-40 seconds, maybe 1 minute. This would hardly take 30 seconds to spot in the question paper in the RC. What is the basic reason of exploitation of man by another? So again, that is there in the passage. You will again spot that within half a minute. And how can we be truly civilized? So the 4 questions of RC would hardly take 3 or 4 minutes, and then we would go ahead. Pick out the correct sentence from the following sentence. He didn't like to attend the lecture. He hadn't liked to attend. So the second one is completely off beat. He haven't liked to attend. He didn't like to attend the lecture. The first one is also wrong. He didn't like to attend the lecture. So the correct sentence is option 4. Pick out the antonym of the word jocund. Jocund is a positive word. So opposite of it is gloomy. Jocund is very joyous, zealous, cheerful, optimistic. Zealous and cheerful are all synonyms of jocund. So gloomy. As I haven't seen all the evidence. As I haven't seen all the evidence. So error is in option A. He said, how wise I am. He exclaimed that he was very wise. Option 2. See, so many questions for me who is a very who isn't good at verbal is also able to answer. So I'm pretty sure you would be able to answer much more than this. Pick out the antonym of the word dissimulate. Dissimulate is kind of simulate. Reveal would be the answer. Answer would be option 4. And that's all. So with this, we have come to the end of the paper. Even with the discussion, even with the solving that we've done, we've not taken even 2 hours. So imagine if you were solving it in full speed, you would easily be able to attempt all the questions, within 2 hours also, in fact, within 1 hour, 45 minutes also. Now, I just have one point to put forth, okay, before we end the session. So I hope this session was helpful. First of all, it gave you, you were able to, kind of go through the entire paper, give you an understanding. Now here, my important point here, which I want to put forth is, whatever be the difficulty, okay, we can't expect the difficulty of JIPMAT 2023 to be the same. But if JIPMAT 2023 is similar difficulty, okay, is similar difficulty, then I would assume that any student, if to get a good score, you would have to attempt 90 plus questions, and you are expected to have at least, if you're attempting 90 plus attempts, you would be expected to get around 85 questions correct. There was not much scope to go wrong here, okay. So if it's similar difficulty, you attempt 90, around 90, and you try to get 85 correct, that should be your aim. If it is slightly higher difficulty, you need to understand that this was possible in 2 hours alone, okay. So if it's slightly higher difficulty, maybe your attempts would remain around the same only, okay. Maybe it would be around 90 questions only, but your correct answers would still come, would come down to around 80 or 80, somewhere between 80 to 85 correct. Slightly higher, okay, slightly higher. And if it's a complete contrast, which I don't expect it to happen, okay, in that case, you need to attempt the paper on its merit, okay. So don't assume, if if you see jump through a few questions, see if the difficulty is similar, then you should be mentally prepared to attempt all the 100 questions, or go through all the 100 questions, and this not go through all the 100 questions, and then not go through them first, but you should be able to cover all the 100 questions, and 2.5 hours would be more than sufficient, so you would be able to handle that. However, if it's a contrast and it is very high difficulty, which is not going to be the case, in that case you need to adjust accordingly, attempt as per the difficulty of the paper. But even if it is little higher difficulty, you would be able to attempt 90 questions in 2.5 hours, and remember, then it will all come down to accuracy. Whoever is more accurate would win the game, okay. So that was all from my side here, guys. This year, a good score would, students who had scored around 330 or higher had kind of, chances at admission. So if you're looking at, similar paper, everyone is now prepared for such difficulty. So this could even go higher. So even if the paper is slightly higher difficulty, I would expect that, students who are able to score 320 plus would be at a good chance. If it is similar difficulty, you can expect the cutoffs to be for Jammu and Bodh Gaya to be around 330 or even higher. And that too in the later rounds, okay. In the initial rounds, it is even about 350, 340. This is after all the rounds who got over and everything, right? So guys, I hope this session was helpful, and thank you very much for attending and for staying in the meeting till the end. So all the best, and we'll come up with the live analysis right after the exam gets over. So you can join us for the live analysis to understand what the difficulty level was and what the good attempts were. Take care and have a very good night. Take good rest tomorrow. Focus on the basic concepts. If you've not revised the formulae of any concept, do that tomorrow. And yeah, basically your exam on Sunday is in the afternoon. So because the exam is in the afternoon, try to don't occupy yourself or don't do a lot of activity in the morning. Be settled, be calm, and kind of, if you do a little meditation, or maybe breathing exercises or something like that. Just, do anything which keeps you calm and settled. Okay. Don't do hyperactivity on the exam day. All right. So with that, all the best and do well. See you soon.